What does Russia have on Trump to make him fool the American citizens and betray his country? Here's a hint, but at the end of this video I will elaborate in more detail. But for now, view this video proof.
A little odd, especially after he's made comments about how much he wishes he could date his own daughter.
This is, of course, not from today. It's from 1996. And at the time, what makes it slightly more uncomfortable is she's holding his face and sitting on his lap is that she was 15.
She's wearing a miniskirt, too, which, by the way, miniskirts are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just the whole picture in its context, and in the context of what he said about his daughter and how attractive he finds her, makes this so incredibly creepy.
Okay, look, it's a slightly awkward picture if Donald Trump hadn't said how many times he would like to date her, right? But since he said that over and over again, well, then it goes from slightly awkward to pretty damn awkward.
Okay, so let me give you his exact comments about his daughter.
Who says that about their daughter?
Only creepers.
And who says if my daughter poses nude, I'll have to check it out to see if she did it in a classy way. And you know, after I checked it out, I'd want to date her, but she's my daughter. What can I do? He
also told Rolling Stone, yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty, that one. If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father. What is wrong with you? Who says those kinds of things?
By the way, he also said it on The View. He said it 3 different times, how much he'd like to date his daughter. So when you find a picture of her at 15 holding his face and being a face stroker, right, then you're like, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable.
Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
I said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop
You know what? You are sick.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've known my father, obviously, my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
Please welcome the lovely Ivanka Trump.
Still, even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter. And he was front row when Ivanka took to the catwalk during her short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump repeatedly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone article, yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty, that one. If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Yeah, she's hot.
Ivanka continues to defend her father and has said he is not sexist. Earlier, her Twitter account showed a little heart liking an article about her father's decade-old comments to Howard Stern. The Trump campaign directed us to Ivanka's brand manager, and a source there tells us it wasn't Ivanka who personally liked the item. It was, quote, a simple mistake by a staff member. CNN has reached out to the Trump campaign for a response about the comments themselves.
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird.
I have never been so grateful for an ellipsis in my life.
You know who's one of the great beauties of the world, according to everybody, and I helped create her?
Who?
Ivanka. My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell. Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
He would be incredible for women in this country. And
The Russian government has eyes and ears, meaning cameras and microphones all over Russia, including luxury hotels reserved for rich and important guests. And Russia has videotape of Donald Trump President of the United States performing sexual acts with his own daughter. Those videos are being used to blackmail Trump and kill Lady Liberty, America, USA. And democracy dies in darkness. America was born in racism, built with racism, lived by racism, and will die by racism and racist policies. And the killer of racist America, a racist. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, orange-faced racist. God, Mother Goddess, has a very distinct sense of humor. Her lesson: you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by racism, you die by racism. And by racists, in this case.